Hi everyone, this is Sushmita again. Welcome to Start Study and Score. Here I want to tell you first, please subscribe my channel so that all the videos will be available only to subscribers. Okay, so let's get started here. Here I'm having this scalars and vectors solved examples too. मुझे प्रॉमिस करथिली जे आ गोटे एग्जांपल्स करबी जोथरे मु कोन कोन पढिबी सेटर गोटे लिस्ट करची सो लेट्स गेट टू दैट फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल आई विल make you learn about position vector, then I will go to displacement vector, then area of parallelogram and triangle. These are basics, that's why I want to cover it fast. Then I will go to river and man problem, important, that's why double tick. Rain and man problem and one of the directions problem we may face in entrance examinations. So I hope this will be a good video for you, and please give a thumbs up and like my video, subscribe my channel and share with your friends so that they will also get benefit out of it. So let's get started without any delay. As I said, I will first discuss about position vector and what it is. See, what is the need of telling or assigning a position? Okay, why it is necessary? So when we are dealing with vector quantities, it is very much important that we are sorting it out in a Cartesian coordinate which is in 3D diagram. This diagram you have already seen before. Mu already e diagram ta draw karchi. This is a typical XYZ 3D Cartesian coordinate system, and if I want to point or if I want to denote a point in a 3D plane, so how I will describe it in a vector quantity and what would be its magnitude and as well as direction. That's why I started this position vector. So position vector will show you it is the situation or the position of the point in the 3D diagram. It will be written like this. The position x-axis will be referring here, y-axis, z-axis, y for this y-axis, z for this z-axis. So what does it exactly mean? It exactly means that this P position vector will have x, y and z as three orthogonal components, which I will refer to them as, if I will not write it as x, y, z, I will write them as I cap, j cap as always and k cap. Okay, so how I am going to write? First of all, I will draw a line from the origin to the point itself, and I will denote it as r vector, which is basically the displacement vector. I will come later on, but before that, this is the r vector would be x vector plus y vector plus z vector. That's correct. But in orthogonal component, it would be x I cap plus y j cap plus z k cap. Okay. So if it is so, what would be the magnitude of r vector? The magnitude of r vector will be given by x square plus y square plus z square whole square root. Okay. So the position vector is only the distance from the distance from the origin and the point given by the r vector, which gives the distance between the origin and the point, and it will have coordinates x, y, z. So if the somebody is asking you one point is having coordinates 3, 2, 1. You can easily find out where the point exactly lies in these 3D coordinates. Okay, that is the charm of it. So this finishes your position vector. Then I will go to displacement vector. When you are going to solve these river and man problem or swimming problem, rain and man problem, or any kind of problem dealing with vectored quantities, you must understand position and displacement vector. So for that, again I am drawing a Cartesian coordinate in 3D. Okay. Now what I will do, as mentioned, it is a displacement vector. I will say that there is a point P where the body was at rest. Okay, let it be x1, y1 and z1 coordinates. Now the body moved from P to Q, another point Q. Okay, what are the new coordinates? x2, y2 and z2. Now you can see, now I have 2 points. If I emphasize the points here, it was at P, now move to Q. Then what should I do? So that I will find how much displacement it has covered. Okay, so what to do? What I will do, first of all, I will join P with origin so that I will have R1, isn't it? Then I will join origin with the Q vector. Okay, so that I will have R2 vector. So easily R2 minus R1 vector will give me, it should give me the resultant of it. When I am subtracting vectors, you must understand it is in vector addition and subtraction terms will comply here. So if R1 and R2 are the position vectors of P and Q, then PQ will be the displacement vector along the direction of motion. Okay, PQ is the displacement vector. And how to find it? As we know from triangle law of vectors, that's how we are going to find it. Okay, you must emphasize on the direction because it is from P to Q, not Q to P. So it is PQ is the displacement vector and triangle law of vectors will be applied. Vector addition will be applied. So we will write that OP plus PQ should give to OQ. Why I have written this? This is one vector. Okay, that is another, and the resultant is this one. You can see the arrow mark and understand that the triangle law of vectors was like this. One head of first vector joined with tail of second vector. The resultant then will be joining these two vectors in the opposite direction. So that's what I did it here also. Okay, so OP plus PQ equals to OQ. That's why we don't know what is PQ. We need to find it out, the displacement vector. So what I will do, PQ is actually OQ vector minus OP vector. That's it. That means what is OQ? OQ is R2, as I said. So this one is the resultant vector PQ. Okay, this will be equal to PQ vector. Now how to find it out? Same again, you have to write what is R1, what is R2. R1 will be, R1 vector is x1 I cap plus y1 j cap plus z1 k cap, like this. Okay, now what is R2 vector? R2 vector is x2 I cap. All the orthogonal vectors will same like that, no variation. Only the position, the components are being varied because these are basically numeral quantities. Okay, so that's why I am not varying them. So PQ vector will be equal to x2i plus y2j plus z2k minus x1i plus y1j plus z1k. So this must solve your problem. Okay, so you must rearrange it and you will find the vector. Now how to find the magnitude of it? How to find? X2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square plus z2 minus z1 whole square over square root. Okay, this is the magnitude of the displacement vector. Okay, now this is the thing we found out, the magnitude we found out of the displacement vector. As you know, any vector you are getting, you must resolve into rectangular components. Then you must try to apply some triangle law of vectors or polygon law of vectors, so that you must see where it is fitting in. Then only you can solve the problem. So as I said, I will teach you position vector, displacement vector. Then next is area of parallelogram and triangle. Let's see that. If I say there are two vectors, one is A, another is B, like this. Okay. Now if I say that there are two vectors represented by two sides of a parallelogram. You know the properties of parallelogram and the formula for finding the area of a parallelogram. So what I will simply draw another parallel line, same as A, which is parallel to A, on the head of B. Then I will again draw another line which will join and parallel to B on the opposite side, okay, and name it. So let it be O, P, Q, R. So if it is the parallelogram, then I will drop down another perpendicular which will be acting as the perpendicular of the parallelogram. Okay, so we know what is area of a parallelogram. Area of OPQR. What it would be? It would be the base into height, isn't it? If it is base into height, what is base here? This is OR, right? So it is base is simply A vector. But what is height? How to find it out? If it is height is actually, I will write it here, another x, px is the height. How to find out the px value? Now, if this is a right angle triangle and this is a smaller angle between A and B, then in right angle triangle, POX. Okay, what is sine theta? Sine theta would be the hypotenuse, the perpendicular by hypotenuse. So it is actually px divided by b vector, isn't it? So px is actually b sine theta, which I need to write. So simply putting, instead of px, I will write b sine theta. So the area of a parallelogram, I can describe it as A B sine theta. That means it is actually, you must not give the vector sign here because we are taking the absolute value of it. That's why. So if I am telling area of a parallelogram is actually AB sine theta, as we found out here, so it is actually cross product of the two vectors, which we can simplify and we know it. So this is the area of a parallelogram which we can draw, we can see from here. Similarly, there is another question for you. Find out area of a triangle. This is a question for you people. Find out area of a triangle in terms of cross product. Okay, and that would be very helpful for you. So this is for position vector, displacement vector, area of a parallelogram, and you can find out this question very easy to do. Please try it out. We should move on to the other problems. You can write down the question if you want. The two men can swim in water at the rate of 5 km per hour. You can see the rate of their velocity is given and it is quite equal for two men. One swims upstream at a distance equals to the width of the river, which is half kilometer it is given, and back again. The other swimmer swims to a point straight across, that means straight perpendicular, point straight across and back again. Assuming velocity of the river is given as 3 km per hour, find the difference in time taken by each of them. Now this is a very important question, I would say, but it is very complex in its manner. May it happen that after reading the question you are slightly you cannot solve it, you cannot understand it, but it is nothing like that. Let me help you how to solve these kind of problems. So first of all, two men have same velocity, 5 km per hour. The river has width of half kilometer, which is 500 meter, and one is swimming upstream, another is swimming point straight across, and the velocity of the river is given as 3 km per hour. Then I will going to solve it. So please write down the question or take a screenshot of it. Now, what do you mean by upstream? Upstream means it is always in adverse. Okay, if the river is going in this direction, you are going in the opposite direction, then it is called upstream. And if you are going with the flow, then it is called downstream. Okay, so upstream and downstream you must understand in context with the river or swimming problem. Upstream so means it is in opposite direction to the river flow. Downstream means you are in the direction of flow of river. Okay, now point straight across means you are just crossing it perpendicular. If you are here, the river is flowing like this, then you are just swimming in this way. Okay, you are just crossing the path, but it will be so that the river will always try to push you to some extent. So how to make it straight across, you must understand that. So we need to draw a diagram for this. Okay, so let's draw a diagram first of all. First of all, when I draw a diagram, it is for conceptual thing. I will draw the diagram as this. This is the river. So the width of the river is half kilometer. I know that. Okay, I have drawn this. Now somebody is trying to go upstream. What do you mean by upstream? So if this is the river, then the velocity of the river in this way only. So this is I am taking as VR, velocity of river, which is 3 km per hour it is given. Okay. Now after that, it is also given that the swimmer, the two men, one is swimming upstream, another is cross straight. So I am first drawing in cross straight position like this. So this will be the perpendicular. This is the VR vector. Okay, this is the VR vector, this is perpendicular, which would be the resultant velocity, of course, and the swimmer who is traveling or swimming upstream will be like this, Vs. Okay, now what we got? VR we know, Vs we know. Now V is the straight across position. It has to be the position of the other man, which is swimming straight across. How would be that? If it is so, if how it will happen when the resultant of whom? Resultant of river velocity plus the swimmer velocity is perpendicular to the river flow. So how that will happen? See, if it is making an angle alpha with the river, this is also VR. You can see that it is also VR. Okay, this is VR. This is Vs. Now I have to have a resultant of Vs and VR so that it will come perpendicular to the river flow. Then only the swimmer can swim straight. So how that is going to happen? That will happen if the resultant and the swimmer, if it is theta, it is also, I am naming it another, it is theta. So theta plus alpha will be 90 degree. When theta plus alpha will be 90 degree, then the resultant of the velocity of the river and the velocity of swimmer, the resultant of it will be perpendicular to the river flow. Then only the swimmer will swim straight or cross straight. The swimmer will be pass it straight. You must understand. This is the conceptual thing. Now how to solve the problem. Now velocity while upstream of the first person, for person A. Velocity while swimming upstream. What it would be? It would be 5 minus 3, 2 kilometer per hour. Why I am subtracting 3? 3 is the velocity of river and this is the velocity of the swimmer. And as it is upstream, that's why I am subtracting. Okay. Now for traveling half kilometer, what time will be taken? This is distance is given, velocity is given 2 km per hour while upstream for person A. So what is the time taken? This time will be half into half 1 by 4 hours. I am not changing the units. You can see I am putting it in kilometer per hour and time taken for half kilometer T1 equals to 1 by 4. How so? Because for 2 kilometers he is taking 1 hour. Okay, so for 1 kilometer he will take 1 by 2 hours. So for half kilometer he will take 1 by 2 into 1 by 2 equals to 1 by 4. This is the outline of it. Now this is time T1. Because he is going upstream, then he will come back downstream. Isn't it? So for downstream, the velocity will be 5 plus 3. It will be added up for the same person A. Okay, for the same person, while going upstream, it will be 2 km per hour. But while coming back, it will be 8 km per hour. So what will be the time taken? Time taken will be T2. Right? So what will be T2? Because the person is going 8 kilometers 1 hour. And for 1 kilometer it will be 1 by 8, right? And for half kilometer it would be 1 by 16 hours, right? So what we got? T1 as 1 by 4, T2 as 1 by 16 for the same person. Okay, now what I will do, the velocity, the time taken will be added up because he is traveling twice the distance. So it would be T1 plus T2 equals to 1 by 4 plus 1 by 16 hours for person A. Right? What will be the resultant velocity of the person B? Now for person B, I am writing in blue, he is traveling straight. And I showed you how it should be perpendicular to the river flow so that the swimmer can travel straight with Vs. Is it? I have showed you. So, swimmer distance velocity kon thila? Vs thila 5 km per hour, right? And what was Vr? 3 km per hour. So, for 90 degree, the magnitude of the resultant will be V S square minus VR square, the square root I will take. So it would be 5 square minus 3 square root, it would be 4 km per hour. We got as the resultant velocity of the second person B I am taking. Okay, now if it is 4 km per hour, then it would be equal for going straight and come back. It would not be upstream or downstream. It haboni. So jetiki jaithila setiki feribo. What I will do, first hela jibba pai kete darkar time taken to go straight across. What it would be? At 4 km per hour, it would be 1 by 4 into 1 by 2, it is 1 by 8. And twice of it will be, time taken by B will be twice of it. Total time to go straight and come back straight, it would be 1 by 4 hours only. So now you can have the difference of both. One is 1 by 4 plus 1 by 16. Another is only 1 by 4. So you can have the difference TB, TA minus TB equals to 1 by 4 plus 1 by 16 minus 1 by 4. So it will cut out. It would be simply 1 by 16 hours. You can convert it to minutes also. So this is the this is the problem in which I have given this one, upstream, downstream, and I have this question for you. The stream of Yamuna is flowing with a velocity of 1 km per hour. What should be the direction of the swimmer to cross the river straight? I already shown you how to do it. If he can swim at 2 km per hour in still water, you must do it. I am waiting to get an answer from you. If you cannot do it also, it's all fine. Please write to me in the comment section so that we will solving it together. Till then, please like my video and subscribe my channel, because it will be only available to subscribers only in short span of time. Have a good day. We will solve rain and man problem in the next video, as well as the direction one. Take care. Have a good day.